Okay, I think we got it.
Got what?
I think we're on.
You
We're
went
on
on before? On Facebook or Instagram?
YouTube and
Well,
Facebook.
it was showing that we
That it
were
was on.
before,
It said
but
it was live, but
Yes, now it's live.
okay.
maybe it was a delay. Or you had to touch something?
The ad channels.
Huh?
You're live now on
So
Facebook.
we didn't catch anything. Okay. Okay. So um, we are talking today about getting comfortable with your curl pattern. And so there's we talked about the various types and textures throughout the head. And Liz was sharing with us, if she doesn't mind doing that again, because for some reason we weren't showing up. She was sharing with us the question of today is how do you see healthy hair for yourself, and what do you do if you find that your hair is not healthy? What tells you it's not healthy, and what do you do as a follow-up?
So for me, what tells me that my hair is not healthy is if I have a lot of breakage. If I see a lot of shedding, especially when you're in your hair natural, you can tend to see a lot of shedding, especially when it's not healthy. When I wash my hair, if I have a ton of hair that's coming in out in the shampoo bowl or in the shower, and when I can see through it, that's another big sign that my hair is not healthy.
So with that, we want to look at usually when you're focusing on your natural hair and you're trying to create more of a healthy head of hair where you're not seeing excessive shedding. And typically, when you come off of wearing your hair in straight styles a lot, uh, and usually that's going to be with heat, even though roller setting is really a better alternative. Many people don't achieve the goal that they want with roller setting. Plus, you can go through a lot of time with the roller setting or rod setting and then not necessarily get the end result that you're looking for. So when you are using a lot of heat, and we're coming into the season where what they call silk press season, because as it gets colder, people want to wear their hair dry in sets or in silk press styles. But what happens is, unfortunately, they will find themselves ending up with a lot of straight ends because it's very easy to get heat damage. What's going on?
22 people.
So it's very easy to get heat damage when you are using heat on your hair. So we're probably ending up what we call wash and go season, and we're coming into straight drier styles. What I do love is that I'm seeing a lot of ladies coming with their own methods of how they keep their hair once they get their straight style.
Yeah.
Because the thing that really damages that hair more is when you keep going back in with the flat iron to smooth this area, or it looks a little puffy, or it's not looking the way you want it to. So now women are coming up with the soft rollers, the whole sock roller process, if the hair is longer, and pin curls.
Yeah.
So these are things that we're everything old is new again, everything new is old, everything old is new. So these are things that women, our mothers and our grandmothers did. You know, rolling the hair, putting a pin in there. Of course, there's wrapping the hair, but when you wrap your hair, it can get too straight.
Right.
So, and it can get very limp. And then you have to still find yourself going back in with either the curling iron or the flat iron. So now women are pin curling, they're rolling up using the soft rollers, and they're using the very large flexi rods.
Yep.
So they may do, I shared with Liz the one lady who used 5 flexi rods, and she had about this much hair. She put one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. And when she took it down and combed it, it was beautiful. But that was after she had gotten her silk press, and her goal was not to put heat in her hair between shampoos. And that was amazing. So today we looked at Liz's hair. We saw the different textures, and it's not unusual for any person to have a variety of textures of hair. You can have looser hair typically in the very front of the head. You're going to have tighter curls in the midsection right here at the occipital area. And from left to right, it can vary. So you might have a combination left to right. I have some clients that have a different type left than right. And then underneath, this area will be very much like the very top. So you'll have again, a looser curl pattern. So what we're going to do today, because we had some questions last week about how do you get your curls in position? How do you define the curls? There were some questions about shrinkage, excessive shrinkage. And so what I shared was conditioning. Conditioning is the key. No matter where we go in these conversations, we will always come back to conditioning, because that is what is going to get you to that healthy hair. So number one, yes, we're going to cleanse and shampoo that hair properly. And your shampoo regimen should be between 1 and 2 weeks. Sometimes people push it to 3. This time, as we get cooler, more at the fall, the winter, some ladies will push to 3 weeks. So they may shampoo every 3 weeks because they're not out in the sun, they're not going to the beach. They may be sweating, but it may not be because it's hot outside. And we're going to have those conversations in about week 4. We're going to talk about perimenopause and menopause and how that changes your hair as well. But in that process of trying to get to healthy hair, it is very important for you to know that there are just certain rules of engagement that you want to stay on top of. What are you going to say?
No, go ahead. You have a message.
So the main thing would be around keeping your hair healthy would be, if you're wearing your hair in straighter styles, to take away the heat. Heat is very damaging. And even I will say, no matter how careful you are, even if you use heat protective sprays, when you're putting flat irons and or curling irons on your hair, it does cause the bonds in the hair to shift. What happens when your hair goes from its natural curl pattern to a straighter look when we use heat? The bonds that hold the curl together shift in order to go to a straight style. So they're very tight, and then they disconnect and shift to allow your hair to stay temporarily in a straight state. When you continue to use heat, and especially when you're using 450 degrees repeatedly, those bonds shift so far apart that when you shampoo that hair again, they can't find each other to lock that curl pattern back in again. And that's what we call heat damage. So when you're wearing your hair straight, it may not be considered damage because you can wear your hair straight and there's not a problem. But when you shampoo that hair and you see those ends are straight and stringy, you have heat damage. And the only thing that can help them when summer comes again is going to be what?
Getting them cut.
There you go. That's right. A pair of these. We call that trichoptilosis. We are going to remove the diseased hair and eliminate the strings and the stringiness. So if you notice, of course, you can see that Liz has color treated hair. That is another area that when ladies have their hair natural, they love to get color because it gives their hair more dimension. It gives it more pizzazz, more excitement. But your conditioning regimen is going to definitely have to tighten up. You cannot successfully have color treated hair and not condition your hair, whether you're wearing it straight, whether you're wearing it natural, no matter how you're wearing your hair. Once you introduce color that lightens or lifts the tone, you have to be conditioning properly. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to do a co-wash so we can actually have time to go through some of the curl defining regimen. And what we're going to use today is the Co-Factor brand, which is mine. I created. It's the new launch. And Liz has been using it and she has been loving it. And not my words, hers. I'll let her talk.
Yes, I do love it.
Yeah.
Especially the Mega Moisturizer. It's my
Yeah.
favorite. It's a game changer.
Okay.
So the Mega Moisturizing System is what really is like she says, is definitely a game changer because it is a system that is designed to definitely provide a moisturizing base for the hair that continues throughout your wear. So I always tell people when you're focusing on moisturizing and hydrating your hair. So when we say moisturizing, that's something that we're doing repeatedly to push more moisture into the hair. But the state of the hair is it hydrated or not? Moisturizing is what we do. Hydration is what we experience. So I like to make the difference as in moisturizing is like feeling thirsty and drinking a glass of water. Hydration is like having to go to the hospital and get on a drip because you are totally hydrated and you cannot survive without it. Our bodies are 70 to 80% water. Y'all don't like to drink no water, but it's important to hydrate from the inside so that you can get the benefits of the hydration that you try to give to yourself on the outside. So if you notice, your ends, the oldest portion of the hair, is always going to be a little more frizzy. It's going to require a lot more care. And this is another way that you have to always be thinking that you're going to make sure that you're applying more and a richer amount of hydration and conditioning from mid-shaft to end, because this is the oldest hair. Hair on average for curly girls grows about 4 to 5 inches per year. So if you have 12 to 15 inches of hair, that's about 3 years worth of hair. Now, what have you done to your hair within 3 years?
Right.
We have rolled it, we have curled it, we have flat ironed it, we have collared it, we have, done wash and goes, we have been not as gentle when we were taking the braids out. We went to somebody that was not so gentle when they were putting the braids in. So at the end of the day, this part of the hair has taken such a beating. So it's always going to be important to add additional product mid-shaft to end and focus your shampoo on your scalp because you really want to cleanse the hair adequately so that you are getting cleansing from the scalp for good scalp hygiene. And then as the shampoo works its way down the hair shaft to be rinsed out, the hair gets clean unless you have an excess amount of heavy oils or heavy waxes in your hair. On average, your focus when you're shampooing is your scalp. And so one thing that people tend to do, they tend to over manipulate when they shampoo. Oftentimes you waited so long to shampoo that when you finally get that water on your head, That water feels so good, and then you just be in there like you in a commercial, just rubbing and scrubbing and moving the hair around. You know what you're doing? Tangling it up. Yeah. That's why your wash day takes so long, because you spend half of the wash day detangling. So what we're going to do before we even put water on Liz's hair, we're going to go in with the Hydrate Me, and we're going to start softening this hair to make it ready, and detangling it to make it ready to have the water on it. And I usually, if you notice, I'm going to the scalp, because that's where the hair tends to be drier. You know, these are the areas that we don't focus on. The part that people have to see, we fixing that. But the part that nobody has to see, we're going to let that kind of go. Plus, sometimes we've used gels and different things on the hair that cause it to be dry. And some of you might have seen, this is the product that I use on. This is great for your protective styles, because I use this on my protective styles, and we're going to have a week where we talk about protective styles too. Because those of us that realize the damage that can happen may not like them, but guess what? They're not going anywhere. So we have to find a way to talk to people about how to stay healthy with the protective style. And the whole idea behind protective styling started off as, oh, I'm going to put my hair away and protect it. And when I take it down, it's going to be down my back. Ooh, you know. Girl, we put that protective style in there, and we don't look all right to me. Out the door we go. You know, we don't have to worry about it because it's in that style. So what happens is, over time, it becomes neglective styles versus protective styles. And if you see how that softened her roots up right away, the hair becomes, I can take my fingers and get through it much easier just by spraying that on. And this would be considered, this process, this is a multitasking product. This is also what Liz or myself can use to refresh the hair in between wash and goes. So you just put it on the hair, it immediately brings hydration to the hair. And then if you need to follow up using some of the curly pudding to redefine your curls, you can. But this hydrates the hair nicely and makes it very easy for you to get through it. There are no tangles. And I like to use my fingers a lot in the process. And you keep the hair as much in a smooth and straight position as possible. And this is what allows you to keep and retain your hair. Because a lot of you guys are losing a lot of hair on wash day. I mean, a lot of hair. Number one, yes, we don't comb through our hair every day. And your hair is going to shed. Naturally, we shed 50 to 100 strands every single day. And that's because new hair is coming in and pushing the old hair out. But when you are allowing the hair to become dry and brittle, that increases the amount of hair that you're going to see in the drain and in the comb and or brush. So what you want to do is detangle that hair, loosen it up. If you take time on the front end, you'll have less work on the back end. I promise you. Do we have do we have anyone that's asking any questions?
I don't believe so.
If you have any questions, you can, so we can just keep a conversation.
Someone says, "I love your hair."
Thank you. I think one of the main questions for me is if we do want to maintain our natural styles during the winter months, because we don't want to go straight. We don't want to do the silk press. Do we, because it's wintertime and it's dry, do we have to do the deep conditioning with the heat every single time? Is that more important in the wintertime than it is in the summertime? Because it's dry? Or can I get away with putting some washing, putting some conditioner in, and then diffusing it right away? Because when I do the deep conditioner, I typically try to set up on the dryer like 30 minutes.
Yeah, you only need to sit under the dryer for 20.
Okay.
20 minutes is your max.
Okay.
You don't have to, anything over 20 minutes is not doing anything else.
Okay, that's good to know.
So 20 minutes, and as I was sharing last week, 20 minutes with heat gives you 10 days of hydration.
Okay.
Your quick conditioning, as we know, can sometimes be very convenient and make the hair have the slip and feel that we want and manageability, but it doesn't last. So if you're doing quick conditioning, then you're going to need to decrease the amount of time between shampoos so that you're giving more back to it, unless you're kind of keeping it in a bond, something where you're not doing a lot of manipulation. But what you can do, and what I suggest to people also, to kind of bridge the gap between the wash and go and between going too straight, if you cleanse, condition, and use a dryer with a comb in and just blow the hair out, you can twist it and it will be stretched. And you will have a nice wavy head of twist that gives you, every day it will get a little fuller, and you don't pull it all the way out. You just kind of loosen it from the roots, and every day you work it a little bit more. And that twisting process can take you for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And near the end you can put it up and just have the twist coming down, and your hair is dry, but it's not overheated.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And that still gives you the texture. It's a funny thing. When I started wearing my hair, in the full natural kind of styles, I didn't like myself in really straight hair anymore. When I see myself and I've had so many clients say, give it some, I want to wear it, but give it some curls. I need some volume, because you get used to seeing the big hair, and so that gives you, that is a game changer. And a lot of people definitely enjoy, we're gonna be over here long. They really enjoy doing the twist styles, because they can work that several different ways. So we're going to do, Liz just shampooed and conditioned her hair a couple of days ago. So we're going to do a co-wash for her today. And so we can finish in time enough for anyone that wants to see how she defines her curls. So you can actually get a chance to see it. So with co-washing, we're going to use the 3-way because it gives you 3 different ways that you can use the product. You can use it as a quick conditioner. You can use it as a deep conditioner. It's just much lighter. So if your hair is not color treated, if your hair, especially for fine hair, for curl textures that are in the 3s, they can use that 3-way because it gives a lot of manageability to the hair. and of course you use it as you're leaving. So those are 3 different ways you can use it.
And you know, I know I had talked about co-wash before, and for a long time I really didn't understand what co-washing was.
Yes.
And the benefits of co-washing. I started doing that co-washing. Sometimes I would do it when I wasn't doing a full wash. I would just run the 3-way through my hair, and I think it would be great if you explain to people the benefits of co-washing and what that does and what it means, because I think people have different understandings of what co-washing means.
Yes.
And when you should do it.
Yes. So co-washing is a way of just refreshing, lifting, when you don't have an excessive amount of product in the hair, when you want to sort of get into your hair more frequently. Like I have a lot of clients that work out. So they're perspiring and they're sweating in the hair and they want to refresh their hair. They really don't want to just put more product on it. They want to have a way to sort of cleanse it, but they don't want to go in with the shampoo. And the co-wash is going to just sort of slide any residue off and give the hair also a very conditioning effect. So we're just kind of moving the product through the hair. It's detangling the hair. If you've just used your basic products on there, you know, if you notice I rinsed quite a bit. When you start off with that upfront rinse, that is really helpful to remove. You can see I usually will rinse until the water runs clear. And so then that tells me any residual product that you used on the hair, which probably will be your curly puddings, your gels, things like that, you've rinsed them away. And then I follow that with the co-wash, making sure that I'm kind of getting in there, but not disrupting the hair excessively. And I like when I have long hair like this, I like to put the product in, but to make sure that it's all the way saturated, I like to give that little squeeze. When the product comes out on the other side, that tells me that it is thoroughly saturated. You can use a wide tooth comb or you can use your fingers to just sort of go through it, and it refreshes the hair, it refreshes your scalp, it keeps the hair from becoming tangled, it gives it the just that nice little slip that we like to have. You can massage the scalp a little bit. And when you're shampooing, you should, if you notice, I'm not roughing her hair. If I were using shampoo, I wouldn't do a lot different. I would just go in, if you notice, take my fingers and go in directly to the scalp and move the product around. Because remember, at this point, our focus is to just cleanse the scalp. The massage provides stimulation, which is excellent to promote the growth.
And it feels great.
And it is an awesome stress reliever. You know, my clients, they're like, oh, this is the best part.
It is.
Because it allows you to move any product, any residue, so forth from the scalp without disturbing the hair. Because at this point, I'm not disturbing the hair at all. When I'm working on the hair, I'm out here. When I'm cleansing the scalp, I'm in here.
So when you co-wash, you don't comb it through, you just use your fingers?
You can absolutely comb it.
Okay. Because I know there's so many different tools that they have. But I always find that for me, especially when I'm in the shower, the wide tooth comb is the best. Yes, I
love a wide tooth comb.
Because it doesn't catch the hair as much.
Exactly, and you're not getting any drag.
Right.
It's where if you need a little more product in that area, your comb is going to tell you.
And then with natural hair, because it does get tangled so fast,
so quickly.
Do you start when you're combing out natural? Because I've seen some people go through natural hair, and man, and I've had it done to me before, not by you, to be clear. They will rake through it. What is the proper way to comb it out?
Because that is just as important in our reaching our goals of healthy hair, to not tear it. So if you notice, I started with my fingers first, removing any tangles. Then, if you notice, there's no hair. As much as I've combed her hair, there's no hair in this comb. So I like to start at the ends and work my way down to the root, because usually the ends are going to be a little more sparse. The root area is going to be your thickest area. And a lot of tangles sometimes can catch on the ends, but you might have a lot of uncombed or undisturbed hair at the root, because new hair has been growing, especially when you've taken out braids and or any kind of twists or any kind of crochet. You take that product, you take everything out of the hair, then you're left with your hair, and your hair is just locked up. So this is where pre-pooing is super important. And you take small sections, and then you just take that comb and you start on the ends. And then you work your way. You can, I'm checking to see, are there tangles? And I'm just making my way out to the end. So this is what you would do, and you wouldn't change this no matter how long or short the hair was. You would still take time focusing. If you, like, I can feel a group of strands here that have collected. And when I feel the least bit of resistance, then I hold the hair so that I'm not pulling it from the root, and I begin lifting the hair up. You see how the tangles came right out? But I kept the roots intact. A lot of times when you, they say some people are heavy-handed. I'm not. I take my time, and you lift all of that so that you are, and it's still a lot of hair. Don't think. Don't think that this is not a lot of hair, because it is. And you should see her daughter. Yes. Take this and multiply.
Oh, wow. Yes. By 4.
Yes, her number of her is what we call the density. So that's the other thing. Know your texture, know your type, know your density. Your density is the number of hairs per square inch. And that determines, is the hair thick or thin? Okay? So when we talk about texture, we're talking about, is the strand narrow? Is it fine? Is it medium, or is it coarse? Is it a fat strand, the actual size of the individual strands? And then the third thing you want to understand is the density, the number of hairs per square inch. And you use that judgment based on what you know your hair to be. And with the aging process, the hair does become smaller. The strands become smaller, which means they become finer. So you will go from a coarser texture to a finer texture naturally with the aging process. So when you go to grasp your ponytail, it's not going to feel as bulky or thick. And that's when you really can tell that you don't have as much hair as you used to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that ponytail will tell it all.
Yeah, that ponytail, that ponytail ain't no liar. If you want to know the hard, cold truth, do the ponytail test. Cause that, honey, that'll make you cry. So now I'm just, if you were in the shower, you'd be standing upright, and you would do the same thing. Bring the water from the edge or the hairline and work your way back. And you're going to rinse because a lot of times some of the scalp issues that you and the itchiness that some of you guys have sometimes is because you're not rinsing your hair thoroughly. You've got too much product still on your scalp. And I know you're going to put leave-in on, but leave-in does not go on your scalp. It goes on your hair strain. The only thing that really should be focused towards your scalp would be any kind of oils. If you're using some jojoba oil, which is because people ask, is it okay to use oil? Absolutely. Jojoba oil is more like your natural oils than any other oil that there is. So if you want something that won't clog your pores, that will not cause your hair to become heavy or weighed down, it is going to behave very much like your sebaceous glands, what your sebaceous glands will give you, which is your oil glands.
What's your take on coconut oil? Because I know a lot of people like to use the raw coconut oil. What do you?
A lot of people like to use coconut oil. It has a lot of good benefits, and I have no personal feelings against coconut oil. It's just not one of the fragrances. Coconut oil is strong,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
And one thing about coconut oil, if you're not cleansing that hair in the time frame, it will turn on you.
Okay.
Sweet fragrances tend to turn on you on your hair. That's why I don't like to use heavy fragrances in my products. Light fragrances, or some of them no fragrance, because when you perspire a lot for whatever reason, and that mixes with your natural body oils, that smell can turn on you.
Okay.
So coconut oil is very good. It has a lot of benefits as it relates to hair care, but it's just not one of my personal favorites for myself. I have it's a part of the shampoo because it's very hydrating. There's a lot of great benefits with coconut oil. When it comes to the oils have two purposes. There are oils that lubricate to give the hair more slip and shine, and then there are sealants. And the sealant will be the last thing that you will use, and that will be more like a butter. So that would be a mango butter, or a cocoa butter, shea butter. All those butters have very specific purposes. With the natural hair, it seals in all the things that you put on the hair. Because once you're done, you want to keep as much of your benefits that you put, your hydration benefits that you put on the hair as possible. And your butters are very helpful in that way. So when we look at the hair now, we see all of the natural texture. And in here, you can see where Liz's hair does have a much tighter texture in this back midsection. Like I often tell people, you're always going to find your tightest curl pattern right on the curve of the back of your head. Mm-hmm. And that part tends to have a mind of its own. I know mine does.
Oh, yeah. I have to fight with the back of my head.
Yes. So to do a good lock where you're doing your leave-in oils and creams, your hair really should kind of, if you're in the shower, it should be soaking wet, right? But I wanted to set her up so that you can see her hair is just light, like it was shampooed, but it was not. Mm-hmm. So we can see, it's giving clean, but it is also giving some shine. It's not giving that hard, drab, stripped look, and it's feeling very soft. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay her back down and re-wet the hair and apply some of the leave-in that will stay in, all right? And then we're going to start, when you are applying your products for your wash and goes, you want to section it for control. You want to start like section, section, section. May go across, you may go from left to right, but what people initially were doing, they would just take product and put it on the hair.
Yeah.
But that doesn't give you what you want. That looks good when it's wet, and then as it starts to dry, you're going to be very disappointed and very frustrated. So I'm going to just re-wet her some because let me wet this chair down a little more, because we want everything to dry into the hair simultaneously. And that's sort of the benefit of doing it that way. When the hair is wet, the cuticle is still open. It's ready to receive. And the cuticle is this part of the hair that's out where we can touch it. When you let this start to dry and then put product on it, it's just sitting on the outside. Okay. It can't get in and do what we need it to do. Okay? So at this point, I'm just re-wetting it. Because if you were doing this yourself, I always say take your leave-in into the shower with you. So you can get that on. And then as you come out, if you want to add more product, you can. But you want to definitely saturate that. Make sure that hair is saturated and wet. And then you apply your leave-in to stay on. No questions today?
So why is it important to have the hair soaking wet?
Because we know the hair is going to start drying down because hair is like a fiber. As soon as it begins to oxidize with the air, it begins to go into a drying cycle. And your cuticle layers begin to shut down. Okay. When they start closing, which, yes, we want to seal everything inside, but not before we finish. Right. So, yeah, so we want to get that leave-in on first. When we talked before, last week, we talked about that layering effect. This is your first layer to build the hydration that you want in your hair so that your curls will be defined and they can stay that way for some days. Okay. And the more hair, the more product. Right. So people with a lot of hair use a lot of product. The Mega Moisturizing System works. It gives you 5 items, and those are the 5 items that you use for your wash and go. There are other products in the line, and those products are a liquid detangler. So if you were going to go straight or do a set or something like that, you would use the liquid detangler instead of the 3-way. Okay.
Now, why would you use the liquid detangler?
Yes, because it will keep your hair light and airy. Yes. Your cream is giving a little bit more weight, even though it's a lightweight cream. It's giving a little more weight because it's designed to get that curl definition in place and allow you to keep it in place once you get it in place.
That's for the natural hair.
For the natural hair. Okay. It's great for your wash and go. Okay. And you can use it again also as a conditioner, deep or quick, when you're wearing your hair in your straight styles as well. So one thing that when I was creating and designing this line, every product has to multitask. The only thing that doesn't multitask is the shampoo. Shampoo, just shampoo. That's what it do. Everything else has a dual purpose because, we talked about having so many products and, half of them we're not really using because they didn't do what we thought they were going to do. and they only do one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to tell you in your directions and so forth the many ways that they can be used, because it's important. You know, that's the beauty of being a curly girl.
Mm-hmm.
We can do so many things with this hair.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a matter of how much time do we have and what do we feel like doing.
Right. And I like that the product works with all the different styles. Like I'll do every once in a while I'll do the 2-strand twist,
Mm-hmm.
and it works there.
Yeah.
And just recently I started doing more finger coils, and it really works well there. And you know, I split it. I'll do some finger coils, and then I use some with my brush.
Now we can really see a difference between the way the hair looked when it first came up and the way it's already started defining the curls.
Mm-hmm.
For some clients where the hair is very fine, actually this is all that they need. I have some clients who their hair is very fine, and they will use the leave-in and the and the hydrate me, and that's all they need. They don't need the pudding. Their curl pattern will stay sufficiently intact without a problem, because it really starts that curl defining, those curl defining steps.
Mm-hmm.
So if we turn, first thing we're always going to do is make sure we're detangling each section. Because what you don't want is for tangles to make themselves at home.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Settle in, and then they start turning to knots.
Right, and they start collecting
friends. They don't like to be lonely.
They don't.
They love a friend.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm. What they say, call a friend. They
Right.
like, mm-hmm. Come on over here with me.
Right.
And we didn't do the Mega Moisturizer today, but you can use this as a leave-in as well. It's very light. As you can see, it's very light, but it has peptides, moisturizers, and proteins in there, and it really gives the hair a lot of support.
Mm-hmm.
Liz loves it.
I absolutely love it. It's probably my favorite product in your line.
Yes.
Just because it's so versatile.
Yeah, it is versatile, and it is one of those ones that.
Yes, it does.
And it is, yeah, it does. It probably has more fragrance than anything else in the line, but it's in a good place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it doesn't make your hair feel
Heavy
at all. Like I'll even use it sometimes to refresh.
Mm-hmm.
And man, my hair just.
Yeah, it does that. So that is always part of the necessary process. I'm going to go get a fresh one. So this is the pudding that we'll be using. Okay, it's almost like a gelled cream, and I'm gonna let Liz take over in a little bit and do her thing. But I like to show some of the different techniques. This is called raking. You're using your fingers like a rake, and you're just sliding product onto the hair. And as the curls begin to dry, you see the curls, we can see the curls start to form already. Mm-hmm. From just the application of that small amount. You don't need a lot of it. The coarser the hair, and that's the thing about it, I'm never afraid of 4C girls. And everything that I create is designed with a 4C girl in mind. If it works on a 4C girl, it works on everybody.
No.
Trust me, I know that. I was in product development for 7 years at L'Oreal. And believe you me, when it can pass the test on a 4C girl,
It passes.
it passed the test, baby. That's right. That's right. So we can see with that how the curls are really becoming more defined. And I didn't have to do a lot. I just raked it through. Remember, that's the rake. You're using your fingers. When you put product on, you are sliding it through. But sometimes you have to come back with if you smooth over the section and it has you feel like a lot of roughness or coarseness, you're going to have to work that area a little bit more.
Okay.
So you just simply take smaller sections and work that product through. And you will be surprised at how you are going to definitely have something that you can continue to wear, because 4C girls tend to feel that they were forgotten in the whole curl revolution. They had to kind of do their own thing because everybody's so scared of it. You know, I don't know what to do with that. I
have the prettiest curls.
When it's done right, that's the best hair ever, you know? Exactly.
It's like you have to untrain your mind.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of times people are afraid of what the product doesn't immediately bring a response to. And so what I like to do when I get to sort of that little section of the hair that we talked about that has tendency to be a little bit more resistant in that curve, I may add a little mega moisturizing in that section as the leave-in, because it's going to hold more hydration in that section and the hair is going to respond quicker. As soon as I put it on, you can see the hair starting to respond. It went from more of the little bit of roughness. It immediately smoothed everything out.
Why is it that the hair in that part, it seems like everybody has it in the back of their head. Why is it that that part in the back of your head is drier? Why is that?
Because the curls are naturally tighter in that section.
Okay.
And when curls are tighter in a section, that means that with every twist and turn, believe it or not, we have some little splits and tears in the curves of our hair naturally.
Oh.
And through no fault of your own. It's just natural. And I've seen tests of hair under the microscope. It's really way more intense than a microscope, but for our purposes, a microscope. And you can see the little splits and twists and breaks.
Wow.
So the more of those twists and turns that you have, the more of those breaks and splits that you have naturally. When you have those little splits in your hair naturally, then that part of the hair is going to allow moisture to escape more readily. So you're needing to do a little bit more, give it a little bit, it's like, you have 3 children. One of them is a problem child. Meaning they just like attention. They want a little more attention. So when you're not paying attention to them, they're going to act out. And that's how I like to think about the back, in the occipital. It's right in the curve. And mine is the same. Not well behaved at all.
Yeah.
Constantly require attention. But it's okay. Yeah. I love it just the same.
Right. I just always wondered why that.
Yes, that's why. And people think, is it damaged? Is it breaking? I'm like, nope, it's just doing what it was born to do. You just have to understand it and work with it accordingly. Now look at that. Just as pretty as the rest, right? Okay, it started off not being so much. It started off, you know, you just got to gently show it who's boss, and you'll get the cooperation that you need. But again, I like that. I probably use the rake technique more than any other technique because it turns out to be appropriate for almost all textures and types. So Liz brought me, this is one of the things that she really loves, is this bounce curl, and she's going to show us how to use it.
Okay.
Bounce curl brush. And it really works wonders on the hair. But I think people accept the use of a thing when people are using it on themselves better than when the hairstylist say, oh, when the hairstylist was doing it, and she can do everything. I can't do that. But you'll be surprised. Just give it a try. We bring these things to you so that you can learn. Now, see the difference? We can also see how this hair is different than this hair. This is, remember we talked about the most aged hair and how it might show us a little more of a limpness towards the ends because it's had more life experiences.
That's a good
That's
one.
what we're saying. It has had more, it's lived more life than the rest of the hair. And we can sometimes see the different curls, how the hair is showing us a bit of difference. And we were straightening hair in that area, you know, doing a few silk presses, and she had some big meetings and things like that. And no matter how much of products that you use on there and how you focus your attentions on not creating a damage situation, the heat it's the nature of the beast. You cannot run through the fire and not get a little scorch here and there. You know, you play with fire, you gonna get a little burn. You gonna get a little burn. Where do you want me to go? Where do you want to go next, Miss Elizabeth?
I can do like the sides.
Okay,
here.
so we're gonna let you. We would love to see, because I know we're getting close to our end of time here, and we would love to see you work with the brush.
Okay.
I'm gonna put some more product in for you, and if you notice, I'm clipping the hair away to give us control over the hair that we are trying to address, because those things are what give you the control. You want to have some control over the hair, but if you're trying to do the entire head at once, it's not going to work.
Not gonna work.
You're going to have a problem. So I'm going to let you kind of move and do, I just wanted to detangle it for you.
Okay.
And then you can put the amount of product that you want to put on there.
Okay.
As you normally do, because your curls have their own life and personality.
Yes, they do. I'm gonna take my rings off so they don't get all caught up in there. Okay, so what I normally do, so she already did the backside. I'll take this portion.
Do you feel like you need more of something?
No, not yet.
Okay.
And I start from the bottom.
Yeah,
clip. Ooh, perfect. And I take some product. I'll comb this out just a little, if I felt tangle.
Yeah.
Comb it out. And then
Bagger
I take
and pudding. So you decide which one you want to do.
Okay, I'll take the pudding. And I put some in between my hand, and I do the praying hands.
Yes, the praying hands.
To get it all the way down.
All the way down. Yeah.
And because I feel like my left side tends to be a bit more frizzier, because you will notice that one side of your hair acts differently than the other side. This is my disobedient side. So it tends to act, it's more frizzier. So I take it all the way down to the bottom. And then I take my bounce curl and I take it and put you see the two teeth on the side of the brush? And I go all the way down the hair, kind of brush it out first, and then I take it through, let it drop, and you see the curls start to form.
Now, see, that's another technique.
Yep. I do that one. And then I do about, let's see, yeah, here we go. I'll probably do another one because on this side, I do 2 different techniques because of the frizziness. So then I'll take a back section here. Again, I move this out the way. Clip it.
Yes.
Some more curly pudding. I'm gonna do my praying hands all the way down. Make sure I cover it from both sides. Then I take my brush again. I'll go through first, kind of brush it out. And again, take the teeth. Make sure the teeth is in place. Hold it. Give it a couple more tangles. Those tangles out. Go all the way down. Let it go. Shake it. I don't really scrunch it. I just kind of move it up. And there's the curls. Then as I start to get a little closer to the front of that area, it's a little slippery. On this side, I do some finger coils because this tends to, because I always kind of manipulate this section more so than anything, my sides and my top. So I recently found out that it was better if I finger coil this area. It just works better for me and the curls stay longer. So I'll take just a section of hair and literally finger coil it. Start at the top.
And you're actually going in a circle.
Yep.
You're taking the hair
And wrapping around
and
my
wrapping
fingers.
it around and coiling around and letting the hair catch on itself.
Yep. And then I let it go and just kind of move it. And you see it, see how it kind of formed already into a curl? And I just finished this whole section with finger coils. And when it dries, I have more control. The curls last
The curls
longer.
are set. You
Yes.
literally are setting a curl.
Yes, they don't get as frizzy. Like I said, this section, the sides of my head, again, don't do anything with it. Just kind of let it do its thing because then it starts to curl up.
It starts to come up.
And I'll pull this, move that over to the side and just keep going through.
I'm always fascinated when I look at the different things that clients, and I ask them, so tell me, how did you get your hair like it is today? And they'll come in and say, oh, well, I just da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, show me what you did.
Yeah, and originally it was, when I first went natural, as you know, I wasn't a big fan of it, but because I wanted to get back healthy to where I was.
For sure.
Sometimes you just have to try different things.
Yeah. Yes.
What works for one person may not work for you.
And your hair goes through cycles of change as you're wearing your hair natural more, as new hair is growing in, and it's got more snap to it. As you learn and understand the differences within your hair, you come to try different things that you think can work because your hair does change.
Yes, it does. Oh, definitely. Especially when I went through perimenopause, which I know you say you'll talk about later.
We are going to have that conversation. Yes, we are.
Yes,
we are.
That was something at that point I wanted to literally just like hack all my hair off because I was just hot. and I was sweating all the time, and I really hated, I liked my silk press every once in a while.
Right.
But, and then I would sit up under the dryer. That was torture. So, you have to just like with everything, what you used to do may not work anymore.
Correct.
And I try to be open-minded and try different things. And because you see some young lady or some woman on the internet and she does one thing and you're like, oh my God, that's so beautiful, and then you try and it's a total fail. And so you feel like, my curls will never look like that. But then you just have to keep trying different things, or you may have to try different techniques on your head, like I'm doing.
And the other part of it is, as you come out of the portion of your hair that is no longer been exposed to heat.
Yep.
It has a whole different personality.
Yes, it does.
So you have to take a whole different approach in order to manage it. Mm-hmm. And you may think your hair is going to have this nice, loose, wavy pattern, but then as that new hair starts coming in, that has not been exposed to heat, it's coming in.
Yep.
And it's tight. and it is almost like the line of demarcation that you have when your hair is growing out of a relaxer.
Yep.
You literally see
the difference.
Two textures, and you have to treat them accordingly.
Yep. And that's exactly what I do. In the back, I strictly use the bounce curl brush.
Okay.
On the sides, I do a combination of the bounce curl brush and I do finger coils.
Okay.
On my right side, I can get away with just raking.
Yeah,
which is
because she has two different textures, left to right.
Yep.
And we discovered her daughter does too.
Yeah. And it was you really don't, for the longest time I didn't know what was going on. I was just
people like, I don't know why this side of my hair
it don't act right.
It never acts right.
Yeah, it don't act
right.
I
can get this side, and one side grows faster than the other, and one side does different things. I can get everything perfect on this side. When I get over on that side, it's going. But that's because oftentimes you have different textures. You have one texture on the left and another texture on the right. In addition to one texture underneath, one texture in the curve, a different texture in the front. Oh, look at them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed that part.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, she gets pedestrians up there.
Yeah.
All right, girl.
And then I do the same thing. I do the finger coils up in the top again, because it defines the curls more. It lasts longer.
More
and
side.
That way.
This way. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't really do a part.
I mean, a separation.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
One side has more weight.
Yes.
I'll let you keep working in that section, and I'll work the back.
Okay.
So we can finish it.
Sounds good. I'm gonna get a little bit more of this.
3. Looks like 3. 3 people. Oh, I'm sorry, 2.
I'm gonna get me, did it capture? Was it recording?
It was recording
From the beginning,
Mhm.
but it
just wasn't casting out to those.
to those
the audience.
Mhm.
Right,
But it was recording. Mhm.
It was weird.
Yeah, because I kept
Mm-hmm.
trying to
gauge it.
Yeah, Miss Lindsay was like, when you start? I'm like, what you mean we start?
So I'm wondering, maybe it's a delay. Ask if anybody has questions. We should be able to see them, yes?
Yes, let's see.
Because we covered some good topics today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did.
Let's see. I don't know questions.
Probably just looking.
Mm-hmm. Courtney's asking 8:30.
Because it's 8:06 now.
Mm-hmm.
You just stay there till I'm texting.
There she go with that dual
Yeah, she get up there, girl. She get fancy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She get fancy on us.
Got the right and the left hand going.
Mm-hmm.
Work it, work it.
And up here, I'll just probably use the brush. Yeah, it took me forever to get to this point where I really like
Comfort zone and figuring out
comfort
what
zone.
to do
Yes.
in different
You
areas.
just have to just take your time and just keep trying.
And what's funny is sometimes you try it this time and it'll work out so good.
And the next time you're like, now what did I do
Man,
this time? How
what did
come
I
it's
do
not
different? I'm
working?
not getting the same
Right, the
thing.
same results. You know, sometime at one point I had another brush, the Denman brush, and then it worked for a little while, and then after a while I didn't like how it was looking, and then I had another brush. I think I got all the products on the market, but this so far has been my.
Yeah, there's been a lot of buzz on that one because this time last year it was all about this brush.
Yep, it sure was.
Yeah. And then now it's about that brush.
This one, yeah, this one is my
But
favorite.
as they come up with something different, that's something that works, like you say, a lot of times, a lot of us have a variety of different things, and sometimes you have to reach back and get those things.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
From day to day, wash day to wash day.
Yep. And like even with when you are not using the heat, they got the sleepy ties, and now they got the sleepy sock, and they have so many different.
Yeah, the one that goes around your head and you
and
roll
got the
everything
clip.
up
Yep.
and put the clip on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought that was so fascinating.
Yep. And it works pretty good.
Mm.
It does work pretty good. And now they have another one. The sleepy tie has one where it's similar to the one you were just talking about,
Mm-hmm.
and you put it on the top of your head, clip it,
Yes.
you wrap your hair around it, and then it has a little
Almost
like a
sock
stocking.
to secure
Yes,
it. Yes,
it goes up around the bottom. I
noticed
really
that.
like that.
Yeah. So we're gonna do some roller sets on you, and then you can use those different things.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, now that it start we're back in a little bit of warm weather right now, but it's gonna get back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's coming.
Oh, yes.
That's okay. I'm gonna put this in the dry cleaners. It's okay. It's just conditioner. Okay.
I got 10% battery.
So much on here. Actually, we can close out because they saw what our hair looked like from the beginning. We can close out.
Okay.
It's about.
You want to say anything?
So, thanks for joining us today, guys. We are going to close out. It is a little after 8. We went a little longer than we intended. But hopefully you learned some things that you can take with you on your journey. And if you have any questions or concerns about additional information or something that you saw, just send me a message through any of those in the comment box or any of those social media networks that you observed us in. And I will get back to you as soon as I can. So until next week, And next week, I think we're going to do. Should we do hormones or should we do feed your follicle?
Oh,
Hmm.
I'd say hormones.
Okay.
Because that's the top.
What about you, Miss Monica? What do you say?
I, hormones.
Yeah. Okay. So next week
Yeah.
we'll do hormones because hormones. If you haven't gotten your ebook yet, make sure that you download it. Go to if you're on Instagram, you can put in the comment box and through my mini chats you'll get an automatic download. But if you don't do that, you can go to naturalhairbar.com and it's on the landing page. You can download it straight from the landing page. And there is an entire section on hormones. And so we're going to cover that. And hormones covers from puberty, how your hair is affected through pregnancy, postpartum, through perimenopause and menopause. We have to think about the fact that your thyroid is a hormone as well. So we're going to talk about how your thyroid becomes affected, and we will also talk about menopause and how your hair might respond and how this might bring more attention to your Miss Liz is going under the dryer. So this might bring more attention to your genetic predisposition as it relates to your hormones. So we're just going to kind of go through the spectrum, and if you have questions, make sure that you ask them. You guys have to stop being so shy. Okay, signing off. Thank you so much for joining us. This is week 2. Next week will be week 3. We're moving